payments with an increase in the price of the item due to the delay in paying. An example is buying an item for 1,000 dollars cash or for $1,200 over time. This is one of the forbidden types of transactions. Narrated that the Messenger of Allah said, whoever has made a deal with two transactions in one shall receive the lesser of the two or riba interest. Items that one is prohibited to sell. Alcohol. Said, when the last verses of Surah Al-Baqarah were revealed, the Prophet went out and said, trade in alcohol has been forbidden. Carrion, swine and idols. Narrated that he heard the Messenger of Allah saying in Mecca during the year of the conquering of Mecca, Allah and His Messenger have forbidden the sale of alcohol, carrion, swine and idols. It was said, O Messenger of Allah, what about the fat of carrion, for it is used to grease the boats, oil the skin, and people use it as lights? He replied, no, it is forbidden. Then the Messenger of Allah said, may Allah destroy the Jews. Allah forbade them its fat, but they collected it together, sold it, and devoured its price. Dogs. That the Messenger of Allah prohibited the price of a dog, the wages of a prostitute, and the earnings of a soothsayer. Pictures or statues containing creatures with souls. I was with Ibn Abbas when a man came and said, I earn my living from what I make with my hands. I make these pictures. I will only tell you what I heard from the Messenger of Allah. I heard him say, whoever makes a picture will be punished by Allah until he blows a soul into it, and he will never be able to blow a soul into it. The man sighed, and his face turned pale. What a pity! If you insist on doing such work, then make things like this tree, that is, everything that does not contain a soul. Dates before they become rip. That the Prophet forbade the sale of dates until their ripeness had become apparent, and the sale of date palms before their ripeness was clear. It was asked, What is its ripeness? He replied, when they become red or yellow. He also narrated that the Prophet forbade the sale of fruits until they ripened. He was asked, what is its ripeness? He said, until they become red. The Messenger of Allah said, don't you see that if Allah keeps the fruits from ripening, how will you take the money from your brother crops before grains become husked? That the Messenger of Allah forbade the sale of the date palms until they ripened, and the ears of corn until they were white and free from diseases. He forbade that for both the buyer and the seller. Option is where one is given a choice between implementing or annulling an action. The types of options. The option open to the contracting parties while still at the contractual sessions. Khiyar al-Majlis. The two contracting parties have an option to cancel the contract from the time the contract is concluded until they separate from one another, as long as they did not stipulate that there would be no such option, that the option would be dropped, or one of them would drop his right while the other retained it. That the Messenger of Allah said, if two people make a sale, then each of them has the option as long as they have not parted. Unless they separate or one of them gives a further option to the other, the sale becomes final. If they depart after the sale and none of them cancelled the sale becomes final. It is forbidden to hurriedly leave the session out of fear that the other will cancel the transaction from his father on the authority of his grandfather, that the Messenger of Allah said, both parties in a business transaction have a right to annul as long as they have not separated, unless it is a bargain with the option to annul is attached to it, and it is not permissible for one of them to separate from the other, for fear that one may demand that the bargain be rescinded. The option based on a stipulation, this is where both parties or one of the parties lays down the stipulation that they will have the option for a specified period of time to cancel the agreement. This is a valid condition even if the time period stated is long. Narrated that the Messenger of Allah said, the two parties to a sales contract have an option as long as they do not depart, or if there is a further option in the sale. The option due to a defect previously it was stated that it is forbidden to conceal a defect. If a person purchases a specific item or merchandise and does not realize that it is defective until after they depart, he has the right to return the item to the seller. Abu Hurairah reported that the Messenger of Allah said, whoever bought a goat was left unmilked in order to make it seem like it produces more milk, and then milks the animal, has a choice. If he is pleased with it, he may keep it. If he is displeased with it, he may return it with a sort of dates for the milk he consumed. Also reported that the Prophet said, do not leave the camels or goats unmilked to make it seem like they produce more milk. If someone buys them after that, he has the choice after milking them to either keep them or return them with a sar of dates. The root of the word riba means an increase, either in the thing itself as in the verse. It is stirred to life and swells rabat, or in exchange for something else, like 1 gold coin for 2 gold coins. Its ruling, riba or interest, is forbidden based on the Quran, sunnah and consensus of the nation. Allah has said concerning it,